What's up everyone? Today I bring you a video about documenting digital assets inside Houdini. If you are like me, this topic can be overlooked, but it does become essential when you try to use your own digital assets like a month later and it is not documented and you are basically guessing what the parameters do because there are a lot of intricacies on how the digital assets work. So it is a good idea to document them. Documentation of assets is not the most exciting thing to do inside Houdini because there is a lot of boilerplate text formatting that is involved. In this video, I will try to show you how to make it at least a little bit more enjoyable. And this video is actually an excerpt from my texture compositor node tutorial series, where I talk about how can you make your digital assets more polished and and all the things that I talk about in this tutorial is going to be universal to any a digital asset creation. Without further ado, let's get to the tutorial. Let's talk a little bit about documentation for the HDA. So I have already set up my help file for this HDA, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that I learned and a couple of tools that you can use to make creation of help file a little bit easier, because it can be pretty annoying to start, reference a couple of these. Basically start referencing every each one of these parameters in your help files. So first of all, you want to open up a help page on Houdini and open up the documenting your assets page and wiki markup reference. And in this documenting your assets page has a very nice templated general form, which basically you can go ahead and copy. And I have my template asset with basically I just created a new asset and with no help. In this help, I'm just going to go ahead and paste it inside, and I am already going to have a generic help file created for my asset. And you can see the basically you can see where the where everything goes and how it has to be formatted for something like a label. Then you can add your name of the HDA and basically fill out your custom information for your HDA. So this is a really great way to get initial layout for HDA for the help file. And one thing that I want to talk about is a thing that I actually created an extra tool to help you out with a couple of things that are pretty annoying and not very fun to do, is referencing parameters in your help file. So when you are using any of the default nodes inside Houdini, there is a help. There's going to, when you hover over the parameter, you can see there's going to be a help window is going to pop up, and it's going to basically take a first paragraph of that parameter explanation from the help page of that node. You can see in my help page I basically have the same setup, and this requires referencing the label and the ID of that parameter inside the help page. So you can see that in template code we have add parameters, and this is where we label reference all of our parameters and explain what they do. So you can see there's the label of the parameter, and then you have to specify its ID, which is basically the internal name of the parameter, and then in the next line it's going to be the text that's going to pop up in the parameters. So let's try to reference something like a foo string from here. So for the label it's going to be foo string. For the ID it's going to be foo underscore string. And explain what this parameter does. So let me actually leave it at that, and let's delete this one. Let's apply it, and this is basically enough to show a window with, you can see that explanation of what the parameter does is taken from here. So this works, and one interesting thing is that it actually should work also without the ID, which is not recommended to do. But if we remove this ID, the help page is going to try to match the HDA is going to try to match this help with the label of the parameter. You can see that it should still pop up, but this is not recommended because there could be a chance that there are multiple string parameters with the same name in the same HDA. So and there are also a couple of more benefits of assigning a unique ID for every one of these parameters inside the help. So I would definitely not recommend not using label and EID. So what I did is actually created a simple script that can go ahead and copy parameter, basically copy already formatted string for you to use. So let me showcase how it works. So let's say I want to document my multi-parameter folder. So from my toolkit, I'm just going ahead and go to the parameter utilities, and it's going to be an option to copy help formatted string. So I have assigned it to the one hotkey. I'm just going to press 1, and now I have pasted, basically copied in my clipboard already formatted string for the documentation of the parameter for the HDA. And if I go ahead and paste it inside, you can see I have created a multi-parameter folder label and the ID of this multi-parameter folder. And I can just this is a multi-param folder, and that's it. And if you take a look at it, you can see I have documented my parameter a lot faster, basically automatically getting the labels and the ID of this parameter. And it also works for the multi-parameters, and you can, let's copy it again. Let's try it out. So for the multi-parameter, you have to be you have to know that the multi-parameters, every one of them is going to append its index. And from my experience, it doesn't really matter the index of the ID for this parameter. It's going to show for all of them anyway. So foo bar, let's try it out. It should basically show for every one of these this help page. For the help file, I like to not to reference any specific multi-parameter index. So what I do is I usually delete the number and put down a pound. So this is actually the name of the parameter that is in the type properties of the parameter. Its name when it's not a multi-parameter. So this basically should work just the same. And if you want to use this tool that I created, you can go ahead and download it for free. I'm going to link it inside the resources file on this course, and you can go ahead. It's going to basically link to the either to the GitHub or whatever the link I'm going to provide for you. And I'm basically going to update my toolkit with ability to create this string format. So this is just a Houdini package that you can install and use this tool. Another thing that I want to talk about is creation of a custom icon for the HDAs that you create. So you can see right now we're using the default HDA icon. And if you open up the help page, we have this I created this custom icon, which is basically just a modified icon that comes with the Houdini of some of the Houdini nodes. So what you can do is actually go ahead and find all of the icons that Houdini uses, something like all of these icons, and you can go ahead and edit them a bit and save it as a new icon, and then just save it on the HDA to use it as a an icon for something like here as a help icon, and also inside here, so which I have yet to set, but I'm going to set it right now. So the icons are actually located if you go ahead in your Houdini folder, Houdini config icons, and there's going to be a zip file of basically all of the icons that Houdini uses. What you can do is just copy this folder, and what I have is basically I have extracted it in my custom folder, and I can just look at all of the icons that I have that Houdini uses. And the icon that I am using for this HDA is actually is a swap node. So swap node, and if you go ahead and open this up in something that reads an SVG files, so I'm going to open up in the Affinity Designer, and once you have opened this up, you can see this is the vector graphic. What we can do is basically just every one of these elements we can move around, we can delete, and we can edit them. So what I did is I deleted these two icons, these two arrows. I squished this one a bit, selected last two like this blue layer, and just copied it down here. And then I went ahead, let's take these two, move it on the, let's move this at the back like that, and give it something like a gray color. And then we can maybe like move it a little bit in the center. And basically this is how I made my custom icon. And then we can just go ahead and export it also as an SVG file, and we are basically have created our custom icon. So I'm not going to save it because I have already created this icon. And make sure that you also save it as an SVG file, and do not rasterize it to any different file format. And once you have saved it, so I'm not going to save it. Once you have saved it, inside the digital asset, you can go to the extra files, and you can press on the selection. You can basically save this file on the HDA. And once you have saved it, you can reference it inside your help and wherever you want. So you can see I have called it texture composite.svg, and you can see that in my help file I have referenced it in the icon, on the icon line, which basically the formatting which is used as a formatting to show the icon in the help page. It's a little different, so it's a little weird formatting, but we have to basically use a pound icon colon, and then we have to use opdef colon dot question mark, and then the textures, then the file names. So all of this is explained in the file in the help page of the how to document your asset. But basically we have pointed on it, and that means that it knows where it finds, and this is why this icon is shown inside here. And to show it to show this icon here, all I have to do is copy this opdef part of the string, and go to the basics and go to the icon and paste it inside here. And if I apply it, you can see we have applied this icon on the HDA. Another thing that you can do is, if you see in some of these default help pages something that you want to use as a formatting, what you can do is actually go ahead and see how any of these help files are structured, just by taking the basically the path, basically the address of this node, and use a text format on them. So you can see guidegroom.txt, and you press enter, you can see you have basically gotten how this help page has been created, and you can see how some of these elements you maybe wanted to also utilize in your help page are set up inside other nodes. So this is definitely something to use. Another thing that I wanted to implement in this HDA is custom coloring of the node. So whenever you create this texture compositor node, it's going to be colored with the custom color, because it's going to indicate that this is a custom node and not a node from the default Houdini. So it is actually done very simply. Go to the type properties. Inside type properties, go to the scripts, and for the event handler, you can see there's a bunch of events. Basically we can run a script on all of these events, and I just want to go ahead and on created script, I want to get my Quark dictionary and get my node. So this is going to be a reference to the newly created node. I want to set color on it, and we have to pass a who.color object. Who.color, and then it asks for a tuple of color, and I want to color my node orange. So it's going to be 1, 0.1, 75 and cancel 0. And then just close the brackets, and that's pretty much it. Just apply it, and now every time we create this texture compositor node, you can see the node is going to be colored. Another thing that I noticed when I closed this HDA in this heap file, I did not, and I opened this up, back up, this icon was actually gone. So there was a problem with the path of this icon, path of this icon. So it did some researching and testing out, and I really figured out that the problem was that the relative path that we wrote here was not sufficient for this HDA. I'm not really sure if that's like a bug or whatever, but basically what I want to do is go ahead and provide the full path, full definition of this HDA. And you can see it's a pretty crazy line for you to know how exactly it's right. And thankfully there is a shortcut for getting the exact formatting for this. But you can see that after the opdef we are pointing to the namespace of the HDA, then the in what object level it is, and then its name, and then its version, and then texture composite.svg, which is then it is question mark, and then after that we have to reference the texture that is saved inside the extra files. And to get this string, what you can do is I did some testing with some test HDA. Basically you can make sure that you select embed icon in the operator and point something like what I have is, let's say I point some icon that I have created on the disk. If you apply it, you can see now it has a full path that is on the disk, which we do not want to do this. But if you select the embed icon in operator and apply it, once you save this asset and open Houdini up, it's going to be converted to basically to this path, except for the after the question mark is going to give it something like a icon SVG path. And then what you can do is delete everything after the question mark and point to the extra file which I have something like here, and deselect embed icon in operator, and that should make sure that we are now pointing to the icon on the HDA that is saved on the HDA. So after that I really didn't have any problems, so I think that should fix that problem for me. And this is going to bring us to the end of this tutorial. And remember, if you want to get the ability to copy the help formatted string into the clipboard, you can get it for free from my toolkit that I'm going to pin the download links in this video's tutorial, in this video's description, and also pinned comment. So I hope you learned something, and see you next time.